It's the Fellowship of the Geek Show, a weekly podcast about comics, the comic book industry, and other geek pop culture. Music courtesy of Manny the Martyr. And now, on with the show!
Hey there, everybody. It's the Fellowship of the Geeks podcast. My name is Thomas Chick, and joining me for this episode is Mike Marlowe.
Hey, gang.
Les Webster.
Or not.
Oh, man.
And that goes over everybody's head because that's an inside joke. That's all right. And Liz Newman.
Hello, everybody.
This is going to be a weird episode, I know. That's all right. How are you guys doing?
Alive and kicking.
Delightful.
Or not?
Or not. It can go either way right now.
Hope everybody's doing okay out there. So what's been going on in your corner of the galaxy?
Oh, man.
Or woman?
Right. Yeah. I don't really have a lot. I've been trying to catch up on shows I've already talked about, and although we are getting, I guess we're getting to the end of Andor. We've got 3 episodes left, so we just finished, I guess, what they would consider an arc in there. And I guess when you watch all the Star Wars movies and stuff, and the good guys always winning, and you see, you know, them get one over on the Empire and everything else, sometimes you kind of forget why they are who they are, and why they demanded the, I guess, respect of the galaxy and stuff. And Andor, this last arc, I guess, really showed me that, yeah, I mean, they're evil. The Empire evil. We all knew that, but this kind of was like, wow. They were trying to take over a planet that was kind of, the Empire was going for the slow burn. We're going to get in. We're your friend. We're not here to do anything wrong. We're just going to keep an eye on everything. Well, then they started working underground, and, people started picking up on that. And of course, that created the resistance and that kind of thing. Well, the Empire basically fed them enough information to where, they were like taking supplies off their trucks and, trying to stop whatever the Empire was doing. But what they were doing was creating a history of conflict with these people. They've been stealing from our trucks and, running raids and that kind of thing. And we haven't done anything. So basically they're giving them enough rope to hang themselves with. But the last episode, they finally opened the center of town, and like the whole town people was like, this is it, this is where we're going to take our stand. Well, in the process of doing that, like, the Empire circled them and pretty much slaughtered everybody. I mean, it was kind of like, oh my god. I mean, I guess I kept expecting Andor to do something, or something was going to happen. It's like, no, they're not about to kill all these people. And it's like, no, they killed all
Yep.
those people.
Yep.
And they painted it as we were fighting back because, look, they've been bombing our sites and taking our trucks, and so they had enough to cover themselves from
Yep, you
the
made us do
Senate.
this.
Yeah, they pushed us to this. So it was just like, wow, oh my god. You know? It's like, yeah, that's why the Empire was the Empire. They,
Oldest trick in the book.
yeah, and not the last planet they would do that way.
Nope.
if it had something. I think Gorman had like a stone underneath the ground that they needed. But in order to take it, it would destroy the planet. Well, okay, we can do that. It took them a little while to set it all up and get it done, but they did. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now I'm taking it. The last 3 episodes will kind of be the aftermath of this. Of you know, Mar. I think her name's Mon.
Mon
In
Mothma,
this,
yes.
yeah, she's in the Senate and she's pretty much telling them, "You guys are hearing lies. This is not the truth of what happened there." So she's finally taking a stand. But Bale, Leia's dad,
Bail
he's
Organa, yep.
yeah, he's kind of like, "I'm with you, but I can't be with you right now. I have to be here." Of course, I guess at this time he has Leia and everything, right?
Yes.
So, he couldn't be the one making waves because of what the situation he was already taking on. It was safer for him to be on the inside than the outside at this point. But she's definitely on the outside now. They know who she is, what she's been, I don't think they know what she's been doing. But that was another thing that was hilarious. Um, in the first season, when Andor finally met, this guy that's helped him through all of this and everything else, there was a general. His name was Cyril, and he like totally fucked up. I mean, he fucked up. People died, he got demoted and everything else. And he knew it was Andor's fault because it was Andor he was going after. So his whole career has been built around hating Andor, just absolutely hating him, hunting him down and wanting him dead. And, you know, so finally in this episode, they run into each other and he's like, beating the hell out of Andor. And at one point, Andor just kind of stops and looks at him. He's like, "Wait, who the hell are you?" Because it was like, well, that makes sense. Because, the first time he met him, when they knew who Andor was, he didn't know who was coming for him. He
Right.
just knew the Empire was there and he had to get out. Not that Cyril was the one chasing him or anything. So I thought that was so hilarious. This guy is so consumed with hate and vengeance. And he's like, "Who the hell are you?"
Yeah, the dude he hates has no idea who he is. That's
Right. Why are
Yeah.
you
yeah,
doing this? Right
wild.
now? Yeah. So, but yeah, I think they even named the episode that. Who are you? And we're almost through season 2.
Yeah.
That's how much this has consumed this guy. But every time, someone like Cyril comes along, I'll ask Brandon, I'm like, "Is he in the movie?" "How about Bix? Is she in the movie?" And he's like, "No." So I was looking for her to die, but she didn't die. She left because he was getting ready to leave the rebellion so he could be with her and have a normal life. And she's like, "If you won't choose the rebellion, I'm choosing it for us, you know? So she left. So, wah wah, she didn't die.
Oh, goody. She could come back later.
Yeah. Well, they were kind of setting her up with some problems. She had been taken by that doctor and like mind tortured. I think she listened to the cries of children dying or something like that. And it like really messed with her head. And then she started like getting into drugs, or I'm taking it it was a drug. So she had some problems that she needs to figure out, and maybe leaving she can do that. I don't know. So, but yeah, like I said, we're almost done. Yay. And then we picked up Gen V. they released the first 3 episodes of that. I've only watched the first 2. I don't know. I'm still kinda out on it. I don't know if I'm gonna like this or not. I think in the current climate that we're living in right now, I don't think it's the right time to continue to poke people, you know? I'm hoping they kinda back off on some of that, you know? But I don't think they are because, the last season of The Boys really set that up, and Gen B is supposed to kinda lead into the last season of The Boys, so we'll definitely be seeing a lot more political takes and pokes and jabs and
Oh
that
boy.
kinda thing. Yeah. To me, it's just not fun, so I don't know. Hopefully they change it. But I will say that I think I feel bad not knowing his name. I think it was Chance Purdue. He played Andre on Gen V. And in between season 1 and shooting season 2, he was in a motorcycle accident and he passed away. So I was
Mhm.
kind of curious because he was a main character on here. I was kind of curious how they were going to handle that. Um, Sometimes shows are notorious for not dealing with that, just kind of skipping over it, which to me is not respectful. I loved, not that I loved that John Ritter died, but I loved the way that the show he was on, what was that?
Eight simple
Angry
rules.
Eight Simple Rules. Yeah, I loved the way they handled that. They could have just picked up where he wasn't there, but they actually allowed the cast to kind of grieve and feel that. And in Gen V, he's dead, and Andre also passed away. So it's kind of, I could see how it could be therapeutic for them because they're missing a friend, and on the show they're missing a friend also, so they kind of get to feel that a little bit more. And I think he handled it really well and a respectful way. Continued on. I do think that Andre did shoot some of season 2, but I think he decided to totally cut all of it and we're doing it this way. So hats off to Kripke on that one. He did a good job.
Good.
So, and I think it will continue. I've seen some articles. I didn't want to read too much because you know how I am with spoilers before I actually watch it. I like to go
Yeah.
in with my mind clean and my own thought. But some of the articles were saying that it's not taking off as well. And the only thing I can guess is that these people are not watching The Boys also because they've kind of woven these together pretty well. And I don't know. I mean, the kids are back on campus. That picked up pretty quick. They were in jail at the end of season 1. So, that picked up pretty quick. So I'll see. I think it's good. Like I said, I think if they cool down some of the political rhetoric going on right now, it'll be good. But we'll see.
So you're about ready to watch Rogue One?
Yep, about ready to watch that one. B's already watched it, so I'll have to.
I'll watch it with you. I recommend it to the guys to watch it too. It's a
Cool.
really good movie. It really
Yep,
is.
we've been trying to watch them with dinner. Depends on the day the baby's had, honestly.
Right.
This is gonna sound so horrible because y'all know I absolutely love my grandbabies. But being an introvert, after taking care of a baby all day long who you have to hold and touch and talk to, and I'm burnt. By the end of the
It's
day,
draining.
I'm burnt. You
I
know,
remember that from
Uh,
18 years ago. I took care of my kid for like 3 weeks. Done.
yeah,
I was
it's like,
just, it was all, I was done. I mean, I was ready for him to graduate high school at that point. I was just,
yep.
nope. Okay. This has got to stop.
Like,
It was
how did
three
I do
weeks.
this? Yep.
Yeah. It was 3 weeks. It was crazy.
Of course, Bill comes home and it's like, leave me alone. You know, I just need a minute. Actually, I need the rest of the evening just to kind of recharge.
Hmm.
Like I said, I absolutely love my grandbabies.
Sure,
I would
sure,
have
sure.
it no other way, you know.
Or not.
Yeah, but it's, whew, because
Yep.
then I drive across town every day to pick the other one up from school. So,
Hmm.
yay. All my anxieties rolled into one, you know,
Oh, yeah.
touching and driving. Woohoo!
Yay.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Cool. Um, so I'm actually cheating a bit because I admit, and I'm sure we'll get into this later in the episode, but I screwed up. Um,
Oh,
little behind the scenes, little gaming here. Um, when we do something like Horror Month, my usual practice is to start about 2 weeks ahead of time because we're a lot of times we're doing like similar type movies or whatever whatever we're dealing with because there's a theme.
Mhm.
Um, and so I kind of need a head start so that I don't have to just mainline that theme for an entire month. Well, I fucked up. I
uh-oh.
lost track. And so I'm watching them as we go, which means I'm not I don't have a ton of extra time to watch something else every week to cover during this part. So I'm cheating a little. And instead of watching a movie, I'm watching a half hour episode of something. And the something I'm watching is something we've been talking about off and on for a few weeks now about how we need to rewatch this thing. I watched the first episode of Police Squad
Ooh.
because it was obviously fresh on my mind because we were literally talking last week.
Yep.
The first episode is the one um, with the bank robbery and
Right.
the two guys got killed. Allegedly they shot each other, and it turns out that wasn't really the case. So, and I mean, the thing to remember about Police Squad is it's created by the guys who made Airplane, and it stars Leslie Nielsen. It is, if you're familiar with the Naked Gun movies, this is where that started. This was a 1982 6 episode kind of end of season filler that just didn't get picked back up. It didn't go over real well with the critics, but it's absolutely friggin' hilarious. Um, so as we said last week, if you can track it down, it's entirely worth it.
What'd you
Um,
watch it on?
I own it on DVD.
Oh,
Yeah.
If it's
Same.
available, I didn't look to see if it's available streaming. It's probably not, or if it's behind one of the paywall ones or something. It's maybe
Probably on
Paramount has it or
Paramount.
something.
Yeah. Probably Paramount or Peacock, since it's a
Yeah,
Paramount property.
yeah.
nope.
Okay, it may not be available for streaming, but yeah, I happen to own it on DVD, so I'm cheating again, double cheating.
Cool.
But yeah, it's pretty damn good. It is everything you would hope for. Um, I mean, take the craziest, dumbest jokes from Airplane and turn it into a cop show. And the story is that this actually does directly parody a specific cop show. I think it was called the M Squad.
Yeah, that's it.
And it was like mid 70s or something. Real cop show.
Very cool.
So yeah, so I am likely for the next few weeks anyway, while we're watching these similarly themed movies, I am going to find a way to cram in one of these episodes to try to break up the process for my own brain's sake. Because that's the deal. The deal is I just burn out easily on watching the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I understand.
Not to go too spoilery here, but our theme is kind of in a way watching the same thing over. But it will be interesting. Don't get me wrong. I am going to enjoy doing it, and certainly enjoy talking about it. But
Yeah.
I'm going to use Police Squad as a palate cleanser in between. We also have a little break in the middle of our month, but we'll get into that later too.
Well, you don't have to worry. Next year it won't be an issue. I've already got next year set up.
Cool. Don't spoil anything yet.
Nope.
It's too early. It's too early.
There is a theme, but you would actually have to think about it. It's not obvious. So
Cool. Hey, it might be fun to not tell us the theme and just give us the list of movies when we get there, and then let us try to figure out the theme.
Okay, sure. So, alrighty. Hey, Les, how about you?
Well, I found a new channel on YouTube that I want to recommend. It's Macabre Tribes. This is a group of stories concerning real crime. I found it fascinating because the first one I watched was about the two sisters from Pennsylvania that had disappeared, and this was the story of how they were found and what had happened to them. It's a really good story. The sisters disappeared in 1978,
Oh, wow.
and the two of them, the resolution of how it was handled and what happened to them was in 2009.
Oh,
So you're talking,
cold case.
yeah. To me, it was fascinating because they just told you up front that that's what they're going to do in this series. And they have several different stories going that you can listen to.
Hmm.
So I highly recommend it. If you are one of those people similar to me that wants to find out about various things, this is definitely a channel to look into. So for me, that was about it, other than Batman Day was this past weekend,
Yep.
and it was fun. Now, they didn't have a lot of books. They didn't have anything that you had to have, or me anyway. Just stuff to look into.
I just watch Batman all day.
There you go.
Yep.
The old TV show or the movies?
The old TV show. It plays on Heroes and Icons.
That's about it for me.
Well, in case you're interested, I believe it's Internet Archive. has the old Filmation animated series with that Adam West and Burt did the voices.
Oh wow.
I think they have several. I know they have several episodes. I don't know the entire run or not, but I came across it a while back. I was like, oh, I need to check that out, and totally forgot about it until right now.
I'll put the link in Discord so you don't forget again.
Yeah, I'll do that. For me, not a whole heck of a lot. Working on the stuff for this month, obviously. It's interesting what will pop up on your logarithms for YouTube. And because of that, I remember the show. I never watched it, but I was familiar about it. But I watched an episode of In Search of, and this happened to be In Search of Bigfoot. This is the old 70s Leonard Nimoy show where he did the narration. It was kind of interesting to watch.
Did they find Bigfoot?
I don't think they find anybody or anything.
It's not really about finding. It's not a ghost hunters thing. It's more of a documentary thing.
Yeah.
In some cases, even like debunking.
Yeah.
It has been a long time since I've seen any of it. I vaguely remember it from my childhood.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I remember not. I know I hadn't watched it, but I vaguely remember it existing.
Yeah.
Obviously, could due to the connection with Nimoy. So there was one suggestion which I thought I bookmarked it, but I went back and was like, oh no, I didn't, and I'm gonna have to look for it again. Is it Lizzie Borden? Is that the woman who killed her parents?
Mm-hmm.
This was
not the only woman who's killed her parents. But
well,
yeah.
right. But I mean, the one that really made a big deal, and this is actually the one that's Elizabeth Montgomery. That's why I want to watch it.
Okay.
It's that
Yeah.
version. So, like I said, I
That's
thought I bookmarked it, but obviously I didn't, and it's on YouTube. So,
Yeah, that was like a TV movie, wasn't it?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
I think
Yes,
it
it
was.
was.
Yeah.
I mean, not much else. I mean, I'll from time to time watch some of the body cam and dash cams. I tell you what, I am really, really getting tired of the word bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
Get
literally,
over it. That's a generational thing, man.
it's
Yeah.
like there was one that was like this guy. Every sentence ended with the word bro. It's like, dude, I didn't do anything, bro. Why you arrest me, bro? Hey, I'm okay. I'm not. Hey, I'm innocent, bro. It's just like, oh my god, shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
It's
niece
not
Woodson
calls me
did that.
bra.
it's not an isolated thing.
yeah, I
No.
know.
It's a certain age group,
Yep.
including my son, just so you know.
The same. My grandbaby. Only I'm not bro. I'm bra.
Wow.
It's like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
goodness. But then I'm like, dude, and it's like, yeah, that was our bro
It
at the
was.
time.
It was.
Yeah.
Very much so. Still is. We still use it all the
I
time.
still use
Yeah,
it. Yes.
yeah. I do hang on to dude, but I certainly don't end every freaking sentence
You
with
do
it.
not. You do
No.
not. But yeah.
And I still
It's like,
use
holy
awesome
crap,
quite a bit too. Awesome.
cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Cool. Cute.
I found myself using nice quite a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too. Yeah.
Kind of pursed and gnarly, but okay.
Tubular.
I think my worst one is my bad.
Uh-huh. That's an easy one to fall into, and I actually that's one I have made a conscious effort to try not to.
Yeah.
I try to come up with different ways of saying that, but
Sometimes for
I'm
me,
weird.
that's fuck you.
Well, sure.
I'm not
There's
going to say
that.
I'm sorry, you know.
Hmm. All right. How can I apologize without apologizing? My bad.
Yep. My bad.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and take our first break, and then we'll get into this week's discussion. And we're back. And as previously mentioned, we are starting Horror Month because it's October, right around
Yeah.
October. So happy times, happy times, happy times.
Today was
Mhm.
what? First day of fall.
Yeah, today was, yep.
Yeah. We are recording
Yep.
on the first day of fall.
And for our theme this year, we you probably didn't pick up the reference from our viewing of the Nutty Professor back in April, but we are doing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That is our theme for this year, and we are
There have been a lot of versions of
yeah,
A
a
lot.
lot, a lot, a lot. And we are beginning with the 1941 version. It stars Spencer Tracy, Ingrid Bergman, and Lana Turner. And this was actually a remake of the 1931 version.
Yeah, the Frederick March
Yep.
version.
So let's get in. Let's do a little discussion of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And for the record, I've never read the book or the novella. I've never read it, so I guess I'm gonna have to read it at some point.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier today, and I'm like, if I read it, it was a long time.
Yeah.
I might have read it like back in college because I was reading a bunch of weird shit like that at the time, but I don't remember specifically.
Have you read it, Les?
But it's been quite some time.
What did I say we did for like English class or something in high school?
That could be.
I don't remember that being one of ours.
I don't either.
I mean, it may have, and I just don't
But
remember.
different teachers
Right.
taught different
Sure.
books
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So
Granted. Yeah.
Liz went to a different school
Mm-hmm.
than we did.
Mm-hmm.
School of Hard
I did.
Knocks.
Mm. The school of or not.
Or not. Yeah.
Yep.
And our audience going, there they said again. What the hell does that mean?
Someday we're gonna have to explain that, but I don't think we're gonna do it today. Let's ride
No,
it for a while.
let's let the mystery go on. Okay.
Mhm.
So, all right.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde,
Spencer Tracy. First of all,
1941.
I'm surprised he did this. I mean, it was a nice role and he was good in it, but this is not really in his wheelhouse. He doesn't usually do. He didn't really do a lot of sci-fi / horror type things, although it doesn't really give you that vibe, or at least, right?
Kind of glad you said that because yeah, this is like the least horror movie.
Yeah, I
There's
didn't
nothing.
really consider it a horror movie. I mean, it was, but it wasn't. I think what 2 people died.
Yeah, I mean, it
and
wasn't. It certainly wasn't a slasher.
Yeah.
no,
But this story isn't that anyway. But
no,
yeah,
the
it was.
horror was more of what people can be. And I think that was the point he was trying to make to everyone. We have a balance of good and evil. And like at the beginning of the story, that guy who got zapped and went crazy, he was trying to say, he separated himself from his good side, and the only thing that was left was his evil side.
Mhm.
Well, Dr. Jekyll thought he could control that, and that's which at first he could, you know, which I don't understand why he wanted to be Hyde for as long as he did. I mean,
The
either you
movie
love
it kind of
Beatrix
glossed.
or or Ivy,
They
and
kind of glossed over all that.
I think that was his struggle. I, Ivy was his bad side. It allowed him to be, which he was. I mean, that was the thing. It didn't change him, and the point the doctor was trying to make too. It doesn't change people to be evil. This evil's already inside of you.
Mhm.
You have it, but that balance of good keeps you from being that. Well, then while Ivy was gone, he was Hyde the whole time. What was that? Almost a year?
Did they
'Cause they
even
went
specify how long it was?
Uh,
I mean,
well,
however long it was, it kept getting extended.
Yeah.
extended. Yeah. At first,
Yeah,
I think they said 4 months, and then they went to London because he had gout. It's like,
yeah.
okay, quit eating crap. But yeah,
It's kind of thing of the time frame. They didn't know shit about gout back then.
yeah. But I think he did portray the evil part pretty well. That some of that was a little uncomfortable what he did to her.
Oh yeah, and I
Um,
think that was kind of the point.
yeah, and he was scared to leave, for sure. I think it should have clicked to her, like when he started repeating everything she said to Dr. Jekyll. That's when it should have clicked to her who he was. And although
Well,
he changed, his eyes never did. So,
To
you
who?
know, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. His
No,
face
you.
changed.
oh no,
You.
Ivy when he was talking to
Ivy.
Oh,
Ivy at the end.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I thought when she was in his office and she's like, just for a moment, I thought, I think she kind of picked up on it then. She got that kind of vibe. And he interpreted of, oh, she's in love with me. I think she kind of picked up then, I have this creepy feeling that he's here because not that it was him. I mean, who could wrap your brain around that? It's the
Right.
same person.
Well, he made statement about it. As Hyde, he said, "What were you going to say? That you thought I was what?" And she still stuttered at it, and then he made the statement that I am I'm Hyde, but I'm also Jekyll.
Yeah. And then
Hmm.
killed her.
Yeah,
Yep.
and obviously he had a hatred of his other self.
Yep. Which I don't think he knew he had until he met her. And that was the beginning of his evil side was, I love Beatrix. We're supposed to get married. Then why does this girl intrigue me so much? Why did I let her kiss me? And, I think that was the start of where he realized I have two sides too, you know. If I
Right. And
drink this
since
go-go juice, I can be this side with her and,
well, and since I don't have B to play with right now, why not play with Ivy?
Right.
yeah,
But if anybody sees Jekyll doing that, that's bad.
yep. And the
So
belt.
let's see if we can figure out a way to let out this evil side, this Hyde.
Yep. And he doesn't have to be polite, and he doesn't have to open doors, and the way he does with Jekyll, because he's a doctor and distinguished,
And he's
and
respectable, right?
yeah,
He can be not respectable with Hyde.
because you don't give a fuck. Nobody knows me. It's almost like a troll on a computer screen. No one knows me. I'll be
The
gone
anonymity.
tomorrow. Yep. And then he locked himself out of his room. I didn't get that. Okay. There was an outside entrance, but there was also an inside entrance. So how did you lock yourself out of your room?
Right. And I thought it was funny that they showed Jekyll literally melting the key down to nothing.
Nothing.
And then Hyde's looking for it later. Like,
Yeah.
did
Well,
you really
and
not
then,
remember?
so
Because
if you're locked out, how did your friend go into the basement to get the medicine you needed to turn back?
Oh, well, the butler let him in.
Did the
Butler still
butler
had his
remind
key.
anybody else of Mr. Rogers?
A little bit. But yeah, and yeah.
Okay, so the butler had a key, because I,
Yeah.
I took it when he destroyed the key. That was the only key, because he was done.
That
Bee's
was
back in town. I can't play anymore. We're done.
that was the intent. I think the melting the key was a little more symbolic than literal, but
Yeah.
that was and that was not the key to the outbuilding. That was the key to the cellar where all that stuff was. Which still doesn't make sense because that's where his lab is too. And why would he give up his
Yeah.
lab? He's still a doctor.
He's still a doctor.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the melting of the key was more symbolic, and that's actually one of the things that I thought was a little odd about this version is that there's a lot of stuff like that where they kind of do things that don't. There are bits of the story that don't make sense, but you're kind of accept it
Yeah.
because it's what it is. And
Well, and Hyde couldn't come in the house the way that he could.
right.
He would have to use the back door, which is what he burnt.
Right. The butler wouldn't recognize Hyde well enough, and in fact didn't in that one scene.
Yep.
He didn't know who Hyde was, and so he wasn't going to let him in. He turned him away at the door. So yeah.
And then, of course, at the end, he couldn't control it anymore, and he kept turning without.
Yeah, he didn't need the concoction anymore.
To me, I think that showed for him it was easier to be evil than it was to be good. That's why he then needed the medicine to be good to connect to that side, because it was too easy for him to be evil.
Right, and he was losing control.
Yep.
And it didn't. Yeah, and the evil side wanted out. The evil side didn't want to be repressed anymore.
Yeah.
Basically, he had done the transition 2 times. Too easy to
And
do.
he had broke that balance that he
Yep.
had talked about.
He had completely torn it apart. And so in that sense, we had to have the ending we had here.
Yeah.
Which was him dying. Spoiler for a 80-year-old movie.
Which was pretty cool. But I think each time they spent too long showing us the transitions. I know back in the day that was cool because, you were watching it happen, but it was kind of like, come on.
I want to give them credit there because yes, the transition is a bit long. I will go into it, but my opinion is a bit long.
Yeah.
They could have actually technically gotten away with showing the transition often than they did. So I want to give them credit for restraining themselves. They really only showed it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. But they could have sped it up just a little.
They could have cut 20 or 30 minutes out of this movie and it was fine also.
Yeah, because the whole first half of the movie doesn't really get started until about 30 minutes in.
Yeah. And admittedly they're trying to set up it's basically they're setting up the character of Henry Jekyll,
Yeah.
which I agree wholeheartedly they took too long to.
Yeah.
But they had to give Spencer Tracy. I mean, this whole thing is about giving him screen time. So then they had to introduce Ivy B, and they
Yeah.
had to introduce B's dad because B's dad's pretty important. And the friend whose name I'm drawing a blank on.
Layson?
Like, was it like
Yeah,
Balin or
Layson?
Layson? Okay.
L-A, yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
L-A-Y-S-O-N.
So they had to set those people up. Did they need 30 plus minutes to do it? Probably not, but it was
No.
1941. What do you want?
Yeah.
People wanted longer movies during the war because it meant they could spend more time not being in their own lives.
For me, originally, I made the mistake and just went to 1931 to watch the March version, which I would recommend also.
Hmm.
The transitions you're talking about for him were done with makeup, just facial makeup and lights. There was no showing him growing hair or anything like that. They'd even, if you go to the site for the Frederick March version, there is a clip of the transition right there in IMDb,
Cool.
and it's fascinating to watch because they make Hyde look more terrifying than was shown in Spencer Tracy's version. Although I enjoyed Spencer's version also. If you watch 31 and then watch 41, which I did, it's almost it's so close to the same shots as the 31. It was really scary. And I want to ask how these people got around these houses and everything with all those damn stairs
Right.
and bridges and all sorts of crap, because between the house and the lab was a bridge.
Hmm.
Same way within 31. It just, then they go down the steps, and I'm going, how costly was this building? How did you have such a palatial entrance to a home and then have this huge dungeon for the lab?
You'd hate to be a real estate agent in the neighborhood, that's for sure.
Don't know. It'd
be weird.
Fascinated me. Both ended about the same way, and to me it was understandable. I don't recall enough from the story as to how it happened and the like. I thought it was more a short story or a novella than it was a novel.
It was a novella.
Yeah, because both movies said that taken from the novel by Stevenson. I'm going, wait a minute. Thought this was a novella or short story
Hmm.
or story. So, although I enjoyed it, it just it took a little out of me. And to me, the 41 version could have done a little more, easier to take. Also, they got the three leads were phenomenal. Bergman, Tracy, and Turner. and I was spellbound, especially when Ingrid Bergman was on screen. I just looked at her and said, "Boy, she was a looker, no doubt about it."
Hmm.
I agree. The three of them did an amazing job of acting. I wish the screenplay had been a little better. I wish there had been a little more emphasis on, and this is my modern day bias working. I wish there'd been a little more emphasis on, or even on science. And I mean, effectively, this is a science fiction. But there's like absolutely none of that. And I mean, the main chunk of the horror is the way he treats Ivy.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, as much as I did actually truly love Ingrid Bergman's performance, her accent was killing me the whole time. I mean, nowhere else in cinema will it Cockney accent, and you shouldn't, because it's not good. It was I was having trouble focusing on what she was doing because of her attempts to sound Cockney. They really just should have let that go somehow. There had to be a better way to do that. Like I said, she did fantastic in everything but that. I also found it interesting. I was reading a little on it afterwards, after I watched it, and apparently they originally wanted to cast her as Beatrix.
Yeah.
And she refused. She was like, "No, I want to play Ivy."
Okay.
And she finally talked them into it. And so they cast Lana Turner as Beatrice instead, because she was tired of playing good girls.
Okay, let me ask you this. If you had a problem with her accent, did you not have a problem like I had with Spencer Tracy's accent?
Spencer Tracy wasn't doing an accent. If your issue was that he sounded like an American, it was a little jarring, sure. Everybody else around him has got this hoity-toity British upper crust accent, and he's just an American guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was also jarring, for sure. Thank God for Lana Turner, because she was the only one holding that down.
I would agree.
And she did, and for what that role is, she did do a wonderful job. I don't want to short Lana Turner in this movie. I mean, all three of them were fantastic.
Now, the director was Victor Fleming,
Mm-hmm.
who's noted for several films, including the Virginian, and that was over about a dozen years before Jekyll and Hyde. He also
And he did Gone with the Wind,
Gone with the Wind, Wizard of
Wizard of
Oz.
Oz.
Yeah, there were a lot of them.
He did good.
No doubt about it. Yeah, he did The Good Earth too. That's true.
You talk about Spencer Tracy with, not having an accent. It reminded me of Hunt for Red October, where you got a submarine.
The Russian
Yeah,
guy.
well, you've got Russian submarine, and here's the commander, the thick Scottish accent.
Yep, the Scottish Russian. Yeah, well, better that than a Scottish Spaniard
Yeah,
with claiming to be Egyptian. But anyway,
right.
Not nice, because I know you haven't seen that movie. But
Yeah, but I got the reference anyway, so that's okay.
No. We
Yeah.
complained about it enough.
How about Darby O'Gill?
A whole new meaning to the term Scotch-Irish.
And
Also proof that people in Hollywood don't pay enough attention to accents. But anyway.
well, they let him sing too.
What, things like We Are the Lollipop Guild?
I don't remember what songs he sang in that film. I hadn't seen that in forever.
Or in this movie. Oh, good. It's on Disney.
There you go. Oh, we know what Les is watching in the morning.
And he's going to start watching it. He's going to start watching it after we're done.
Yeah, damn straight.
It'll probably be morning by the time we're done.
Well, it's entirely possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy this film. I agree that it seemed like it took forever to kind of get going, but it's a really good film. Everybody was really good. I read somewhere that Spencer Tracy wanted Katharine Hepburn to play both female leads, as if they were.
Yeah,
I
saw that, and I think I'm glad that he didn't get it.
Yeah.
That would have been a little too on the nose, I think.
Yeah.
I think I see where he's going with it, but I don't. I think it makes more sense for the characters to be different. I mean, for Ivy to just be a lower class version of Beatrice is just I don't know.
It just seems a little weird.
Yeah, I think that would be too subtle. I think it would be easy to lose track of who was who, just like it, in a way, kind of was with Jekyll and Hyde, because the transition wasn't that dramatic.
Right.
It would have been. I mean, they made the effort. I mean, they gave him the false teeth and they gave him the wig, and his mannerisms were just different. He was clearly playing a different role, and credit to him for that alone. But it would have been nice if there had been a little more visual.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree that his physical change was there and his voice definitely was there.
Yeah.
The Hyde voice was extremely different.
Mm-hmm.
But to Thomas's point, I thought they moved fairly quickly to the point where Henry decided he was going to take the medicine that he tried to convince others that he didn't want to do tests on animals anymore, and decided he'd just take a shot of it himself. Me, that was fairly early. That was very early in the movie. And we had the introduction of Ivy before that. We had the meeting with all the doctors discussing this idea of using it on humans. That was before Ivy was introduced. So then he went to his lab, looked at the animals that had passed away, and decided, well, I'll just do it myself.
All right, I'll give you credit for the fact that part, the him walking into his lab to him taking a swig of the stuff. I will give you the fact that seemed like a montage. That part was fairly quick. I think our complaint is about the half hour it took to get to that point in the movie.
Yeah.
And I will straight up blame the fact. I mean, I talk about this movie wanting to see more horror or more science fiction in this movie. I think this movie needed significantly less romance. And if we had cut the romance scenes out of that first half hour, I think it would have been a lot more manageable.
To me,
And
what was instead of romance, the melodrama to me was
well,
horrible.
maybe we're calling the same thing by two different, but
When the
yeah.
women are, when Ivy or Beatrix are crying and saying things, especially Beatrix right at the end where Hyde comes back and she's afraid, she's frightened.
Mhm.
To me, her lying on the ground and crying that Henry's gone, that made no sense. The guy left. Okay, I know you're upset, but do you have to swoon and go to the ground and then Hyde shows up?
Yes, of course you have to.
That was the 40s thing.
It was right. There was a they weren't acting unless they were overacting.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
my thing with this whole with the three leads in this were that they did the overacting well. So so as much as the mel me, I guess it kind of made the film in a way too. I mean, it wouldn't be the same movie without by a long shot. You would have had a shot for shot remake of the 31 March version, which would have not gone over as well. So I mean, I can see where the parts I don't like about this movie are so integral to the movie that it just wouldn't work without them.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you, and it was a lot, but it kind of had to be, in my opinion, because they were really shorting the story a little bit, or at least stretching it out. I mean, getting a 2+ hour movie out of a novella is a rough ride in a lot of cases. So they had to ham it up a little bit to keep the runtime up.
I agree. They did have to.
Yeah, it was a little over emotional at times, for
What,
sure.
an hour and a half? Was that it? No.
An hour and a half of this movie was melodrama. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, no doubt about that.
I think the version I saw was the version we had. I think we all watched that version. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I think it was 127. So 2 hours and 7 minutes. Yeah, they could have cut half an hour easy, and it still would have worked as a Jekyll and Hyde movie. Whether it would have been this movie, open for debate. But yeah,
Hey,
I'm glad I watched it at least.
well, according to IMDb, the runtime was 153, an hour 53.
Really?
Now, because I watched it on one of the apps from Roku.
Mm-hmm.
I kept looking at the time and I went, holy crap. The 31 version was like an hour 30.
Yeah, I remember it being short. I don't remember if I've seen it. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it was an hour
I remember.
38.
And this one, I mean, Wikipedia lists this as 120, and the version I had, which was that Internet Archive?
Yeah, I think so. I believe that's
Yeah, it was 2 hours and 7 minutes. So man, you got the short version, and you're still talking about it being too long. So that says something. doesn't surprise me for a movie like this that there are multiple cuts still floating around out there. And then
Yeah.
they probably are not dramatically different cuts either.
Okay. Final thoughts on 1941's Jekyll and Hyde?
I liked it.
It's a good
I
movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's not exactly my taste, but it's a good movie.
Mhm.
It's a definite recommend.
It makes me want to go back and look at one of the versions earlier than March's. Because was there not a 1921 version? Something
Oh,
like that?
dude, they've been making versions of this basically since film was invented.
Yeah.
True.
And effectively, they haven't stopped. Like, I mean, I've not seen any of the 4 versions we're going to for this month. And I've seen multiple versions of this story. I mean, hell, we've watched at least, I think, 3 just for the show, just for the podcast in the past. I think 3 different versions already. How this one wasn't one of them, I couldn't tell you. But so there's bajillions of versions of this out there. So yeah, I'm willing to bet you could find one from before 1915 if you looked hard.
Like I said earlier, I would take the time to just even watch the clip that IMDb has for the Frederick March version. Because
Yeah,
the clip right there of his transformation is amazing. And you
you got
could
me
tell
curious on that.
that it was done due to the lighting to start his facial change. And then later, yeah, it's full blown crazy looking. Which I will also say about Spencer Tracy. He had crazy eyes when he was Hyde. There's
Oh
no
man,
doubt.
yeah,
He did.
It was to a point where I was going, holy crap, this guy's going to come through the screen.
Hi, Les.
What?
Said, hi, Les. He's coming through the screen to say hi to you.
Oh, high five. Thanks.
High five. Alrighty, let's go ahead and take our second break, and then we'll be back with Geek News for You. We're back, and it's time for Geek News for You. In this segment, we bring a couple of news items to the table for discussion. This week, it's Mikey and myself. Go first, sir.
Oh sure. I found an article. It's actually a CBR article. And apparently in a recent interview, James Gunn dropped a bit of a hint about some upcoming stuff. I mean, nothing specific. It's all vague, but that's okay. That's actually the fun part because it gives us something to blah blah about. But apparently, he was asked a question by a fan about specifically about Charlton characters. And the indication was that we are likely to see more characters being added to the in the near future.
Cool.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously, I think we have even talked already about Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Other potential names are Captain Atom, The Question. Have we already seen Creature Commandos, or is that?
Yeah, the first season's already out. They're working on season 2 right now.
I mean, and obviously Peacemaker.
Yep.
is already rolling. How much they're actually going to weave John Cena into that? I mean, I hope. I mean, given the reception in general of that series, and honestly, how much Liz likes it,
Hmm.
I
It's good.
want to see him. I want to see it just straight up injected in. So apparently it's something that's on his mind.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I know he has mentioned having a conversation with a director for a secret project, and that's all he's listed as. So with everything else that's been announced, and there's something we don't know about, which really has me interested.
Yep.
Trying
There's
to.
something about a mystery.
No.
Mhm.
If they tell us everything, then we have less to look forward to, right?
Yep.
There's less chance of surprise. And people like being surprised. I mean, except when they don't, of course.
Right.
And I don't even mean that as a throw to the joke earlier. That's just the reality. People want something different that's exactly the same as what they're used to.
Yep.
That's human nature.
Different, but not too different.
Right.
Is there a character you would like to see, Mike?
I think the question would be interesting.
Okay.
I have not read enough of his stuff, but the character has kind of intrigued me from afar. I thought he was interesting in some of the New 52 stuff, what they did with that character. That's most of my exposure to the character, and maybe entirely weird and off base in terms of everything else, but
Right.
I liked it. I remember liking it.
I think I would prefer the question as a series, as opposed to a movie. Maybe that's just me.
I'm good with that.
Work breakdown.
Yeah. I think it would work better, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see E-Man myself. I enjoyed that stuff.
Does DC own that? I know they bought Charlton, but I don't know about you, because they hadn't done it. They hadn't done anything with them.
No.
That's why I question it.
Maybe they are looking at Metamorpho as their guy.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, they created Julia Schwartz created Elongated Man, not realizing that they owned Plastic Man. So
Yeah.
It's hard to keep track of all that stuff. Come on.
well, I mean, it was during a time where they were buying up other publications. So I can imagine. Alrighty. Well, speak about surprises. Apparently, Top Gun director Joseph Kosinski has signed up to do a reboot of Miami Vice.
Oh Lord.
A movie or the TV
A
series?
movie. And this will be done with Universal Pictures. It's got a release date of August 2027, August 6th, 7. And they're stating that this will actually take place during the 80s, as opposed to the reboot that was done back in 2006 by Michael Mann.
Colin Farrell one.
Yeah, Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx.
Oh boy. So
which
we're
apparently,
doing it as a period piece. That's just amazing.
yeah. So, according to this article, and this is from IGN, it's particularly inspired by the series pilot and the first season. In the pilot, New York City cop Ricardo Tubbs travels down to Miami in search of his brother's killer and eventually teams up with local undercover detective James Sonny Crockett, who's also after the same drug dealer since they killed his partner. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like the show.
And
These drug cartels are going to be wishing they hadn't done this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
especially if Crockett decides to bring his pet.
You mean the Ferrari?
yeah,
I thought Crockett had the alligator or the crocodile.
I don't remember that part, but that would be friggin' awesome. It'd have to be a crocodile too, because
Yeah.
crocodile.
da, 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 da,
Electric Boogaloo.
da, 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 da,
Pretty much.
da, 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 da.
Or not.
Oh, I can't think of a cop show in less need of a reboot than Miami Vice, but maybe I'm weird.
Beretta.
Go Jack.
Wouldn't mind
Ah,
seeing a boat Kojak myself.
Columbo.
see, you couldn't do Kojak or Columbo because it would just be weird without Telly Savalas or Robert Falk.
I agree with you.
Peter Falk, I'm sorry. I knew that was wrong when I said it. And I'm like, what the hell am I talking about?
Did do a spin-off of Columbo.
Like a Son of Columbo type thing?
There's Mrs. Columbo. She's the wife of Columbo.
Huh.
Because she went on to do one of the Star Trek shows.
Mm.
Was that what the hell's her name? Blanking on Janeway's name. What's her
Kate
name?
Mulgrew.
Kate Mulgrew. Was that her?
Yep, that was her. That was Mrs. Columbo.
Weird that I can remember that, but I couldn't pull her name out of my memory for some reason. Whatever. Memory's weird. Especially mine.
Alrighty. Any special shout outs or mention other than happy
No.
fall?
Yeah, it's fall. Woo. I'm not sure what that means, but
y'all.
we're already having fall allergies hitting our house. Not sure how happy we're, but y'all enjoy yourselves.
Well, means less 90 degrees A's.
Well, there's that.
In theory.
Right.
So, all right. Well, we'll move on to regular shout outs. Want to thank Pop Goes the Culture for allowing us to be part of a great little podcast network. We recommend that you check them out. There will be a link in the show notes. I also want you to check out the Find Me tweet our links on Twitter. They're better known as Potter and Family. The best way to find them is to do a search hashtag Potter and Family, all one word. Scroll through and whatever catches your attention, by all means, please click download, and hope you enjoyed. I want to thank Manny the Martyr for supplying the music to the podcast. The show notes where you other fine pieces of music. And you, dear listener, thank you for downloading and listening to today's episode. We value your feedback. Ways you can contact us is our email address is email@thefellowship.net. Go to the website and go to the About Us page. There is a contact form that you can fill out there. Or you can join our Discord. I don't believe we mentioned it on the show this time, but we do have a Discord that's open for invite. The invitations on our page. Post a lot of news items, stuff for discussion, stuff to laugh at, some trailers, music. We'll have some events on there, like movie night or something else. So yeah, definitely come hang out with us if you. Social media on Facebook, we're the Fellowship of the Geeks. On Instagram, Twitter, and Blue Sky, we're at Fellowship Geeks. If you would like to follow our personal Twitter accounts, Mike can be found at Mikey Geek. Liz can be found at LN_geek. Les may or may not be found at Fake Liz. And I can be found at Tom T. And from wherever you download, be so kind enough as to rate and review the show. It would be greatly appreciated. Anything else before we say goodbye?
Just thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate you listening.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate it as always. Until next time, geek on, my friends.
We thank you for listening to the show. Comments, suggestions, and questions can be sent to email@thefellowshipofthegeeks.net. You can follow us on Facebook at The Fellowship of the Geeks and on Twitter at Fellowship Geeks. Until next time,